Hi folks, this is Tony for aminutetomidnight.com with a short but very important update on things that are happening in the world and how rapidly the beast system is rising. And by the way, I'm not necessarily suggesting that I think Donald Trump is the Antichrist, but I do believe that he is playing a big role in setting up the system of the beast and the New World Order, and who knows what his end role will be, but he's definitely playing a big role in it now.
We're going to Pennsylvania, and we will have a great time in Pennsylvania. It's a tremendous state. They ought to start thinking about opening it up. You have a lot of people who want their freedom, and they'll get their freedom very soon.
So what our administration did under the leadership of President Trump is do an entire 2018 pandemic preparedness report. Beyond that, we did a whole exercise on pandemic preparedness in August of last year and had an entire after-action report put together.
And I think we're going to have a vaccine by the end of the year. And I think distribution will take place almost simultaneously because we've geared up the military, and you'll see that tomorrow.
So while we're launching Operation Warp Speed, he's not showing up for work to be part of that. So this is like somebody who was in a choir and is now trying to say he was a soloist back then. What he was saying is what every single member of this administration and the president was saying. We need more personal protective equipment. We need more ventilators. We need therapeutics. We need vaccines. Every single thing this president was on, this president achieved. And Dr. Bright was part of a team and was simply saying what everybody else at the White House and at HHS was saying.
We're not happy about China, I will tell you that. The ink wasn't dry on a great trade deal, and all of a sudden, the plague comes in from China. We're not happy about it. The world trade, they treat China as a developing nation. Therefore, China gets a lot of the benefits that the U.S. doesn't get. They have other countries that are developing nations. And the people sitting in the Oval Office should never have let that happen.
Do you think the CDC is overcounting death counts?
I don't know how they're counting. I never discussed it with them. Death is death. We don't want people dying in this country. And we've done a great job.
President Trump continues to push the country to quickly bounce back and says he does not consider that happening without reopening schools, claiming the virus has had very little impact on young people. But you're right, his own top health experts disagree.
Look, he wants to play all sides of the equation.
President Trump pushed back against the warning Dr. Anthony Fauci delivered at a Senate hearing the day before.
There is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control. We don't know everything about this virus, and we really better be very careful, particularly when it comes to children.
I was surprised by his answer, actually, because, it's just, to me, it's not an acceptable answer, especially when it comes to schools.
Today, the administration's former top vaccine researcher, Rick Bright, will testify before a House committee that if the response is not ramped up, 2020 will be the darkest winter in modern history. Bright filed a whistleblower complaint claiming he was removed from his position because he pushed back against the administration's embrace of hydroxychloroquine. CBS Evening News anchor Norah O'Donnell interviewed Bright and asked him about the president's accusation that Bright is a disgruntled employee.
I am not disgruntled. I am frustrated at a lack of leadership.
I'm going to read a bit of an article out on CBS News on May 14th. Trump says he would mobilize military to distribute coronavirus vaccine when it's ready. President Trump says he would rapidly mobilize the US military to distribute a coronavirus vaccine once it's ready, focusing first on nursing homes and the elderly most vulnerable to deadly complications from the virus. We're mobilizing our military and other forces, but we're mobilizing our military on the basis that we do have a vaccine. You know, it's a massive job to give this vaccine. Our military is now being mobilized, so at the end of the year we're going to be able to give it to a lot of people very, very rapidly, the president said. We will have a tremendous force because we're assuming we get it, then you have to distribute it, he added. And unless you're mobilised and ready, you're not going to be able to do it for a very long time, so we're starting now. The president said he expected a vaccine to be available by the end of this year. Seriously, folks, this should be sparking some warning bells, particularly for anyone that is a follower of Bible prophecy. Department of Defense for immediate release May 12th. Department of Defense awards $138 million contract enabling pre-filled syringes for future COVID-19 vaccine. Statement attributed to Lieutenant Colonel Mike Andrews, Department of Defense spokesman. Today, the Department of Defense and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced a $138 million contract with Apogect Systems America for Project Jumpstart and Rapid USA, which together will dramatically expand U.S. production capability for domestically manufactured medical-grade injection devices starting by October 2020. Spearheaded by Department of Defense's Joint Acquisition Task Force, in coordination with the HHS Office of the Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response, the contract will support Jumpstart to create a US-based high-speed supply chain for pre-filled syringes beginning later this year by using well-established blow-fill-seal aseptic plastic manufacturing technology suitable for combating COVID-19 when a safe and proven vaccine becomes available. If you are a follower of Bible prophecy, this next clip I'm going to play you should make your hair stand on end.
Today, the world is battling a global pandemic, and there's plenty of work to do. Some needs are obvious, like developing medicines and vaccines. Some needs are less obvious, like finding a faster way to put those medicines and vaccines into small glass vials so every person in America can quickly get vaccinated. This task sounds simple, but it's surprisingly hard. America has 330 million people, all of whom will likely need 2 to 4 injections. That means packaging between 660 million and 1.3 billion doses of a vaccine, which requires an enormous number of glass vials and syringes. We have some of those glass vials and syringes in stockpiles, but not nearly enough. And it will take at least 12 months to get the needed amounts. We can't wait that long. And even if we somehow got all the glass vials and syringes, we will also need specialized filling machinery to fill all those vials. Again, we have some, but not nearly enough. And for guaranteed access, those filling lines must be located in the U.S. Unfortunately, most are overseas. These obstacles explain why America's Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response and the Strategic National Stockpile, both part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, have teamed up with a U.S. company called Apogect Systems America to help package hundreds of millions of doses of vaccines and therapeutics fast. The partnership is called the Rapid Consortium. Rapid will build U.S.-based facilities to make a new kind of plastic pre-filled syringe at extraordinary speed. These facilities will make enough pre-filled syringes to inject every man, woman, and child in America with just the right dose 30 days after a vaccine becomes available. Plus, every pre-filled syringe can have an RFID chip attached. This will allow healthcare workers to use their mobile phones to automatically capture where and when every injection takes place, helping public health officials make more informed decisions. And to help make sure this vital national resource gets built on time, one of the world's 10 largest investment banks, Jefferies Financial Group, is raising $1 billion in capital. The secret of Rapid's filling speed is an FDA-approved aseptic plastic manufacturing process called blow, fill, seal, or BFS for short. It's the same process that makes disposable eye drop containers. Every year, BFS is used to package billions of doses of vaccines and medicines worldwide. Building the Rapid network would ordinarily take 3 to 5 years. But Rapid is finding ways to start making tens of millions of pre-filled syringes every month later this year. Rapid is what America and the world need, a public-private partnership that blends government defense expertise with private enterprise efficiency. I'm Jay Walker, the chairman of Rapid. Together, we will overcome this virus for a safer, healthier society.
If you've watched the recent videos I've put out, and I highly recommend you do watch them, you will see that the beast system is rising incredibly rapidly. It's happening at warp speed. I just want to show you one more thing here. Global Preparedness Monitoring Board. And this is on their About page. What is the GPMB? The Global Preparedness Monitoring Board is an independent monitoring and accountability body to ensure preparedness for global health crisis. Comprised of political leaders, agency principals, and world-class experts, the board provides an independent and comprehensive appraisal for policymakers and the world about progress towards increased preparedness and response capacity for disease outbreaks and other emergencies with health consequences. In short, the work of the GPMB will be to chart a roadmap for a safer world. Created in response to recommendations by the UN Secretary-General's Global Health Crisis Task Force in 2017, the GPMB was convened by the World Health Organization and the World Bank Group and formally launched in May 2018. There are a lot of big names on this board, and among them we find Dr. Anthony Fauci, the Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases USA, and also Dr. Chris Elias, President of the Global Development Program, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation USA. We are also staring down the barrel of a 1930s-like Great Depression, possibly even worse than the 1930s. Certainly nothing like this has happened since World War II. And also we have war drums beating, I would say, as well. For folks that follow Bible prophecy, read the book of Revelation and the opening of the seals and the 4 horsemen, and by goodness, it's certainly looking very much like this may be what's happening right now. Hoping it's not, but with all the events that are unfolding at the moment, it certainly appears to very much line up with the possibility that it is. Folks, I hope you found this video helpful. I think it's been a very important short update. Please share it and like it if you're watching it on YouTube. Remember our website, aminutemidnight.com. Do visit it and actually bookmark it and follow it. We run A Minute to Midnight 100% by donations too. If you want to help, that'd be awesome. So anyway, God bless, keep safe, and hopefully we'll catch you with another video in a few days' time.